Ken Straub here for the Strawbro Sports Show, and I have the pleasure to be joined by, at Rapids lifting session, linebacker coach James Long. Coach, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, man, great to be here. Thanks for having me, dude.
So this is your first year with the Rapids. This is your 5th year coaching. You spent 4 years at Streetsboro High School.
Mm-hmm.
What is it like to come in from a school and to be part of a group here that has not just the backing of ownership, but backing of the city, kind of similar as a high school?
Well, it's kind of nice. It's the fact that we have an organized set of people to kind of go to when we have these questions, because when things are going from the ground up, a lot of times it's kind of unorganized.
Yeah.
Completely different here. Everything's kind of set together. It's organized. We have the ability to kind of conversate about everything well before the season. That takes out a lot of the stress of kind of going in unprepared, and it makes a lot of things easier. So.
Absolutely. Now, we're here at lifting.
Mm-hmm.
You're a linebackers coach, so obviously this is exactly where you want
Absolutely.
your linebackers to be, in the gym getting big. What are you looking at during the preseason time here out of your linebacking crew?
Well, yeah, I mean, you said it. The weight room is huge. Any position of football, especially linebackers, is a huge point. But I think one of the things with linebackers is we expect them to be leaders on the defense and know what's going on in that front seven especially. So I think a lot of things, especially when we're on the field, we're looking for linebackers who are quick to react, guys who are smart and not just know what they're doing, but the guys in front of them. They got to make sure the D-line's set. They got to be smart. That's the number one thing with all linebackers. They have to be kind of a quarterback for that front seven on the defense.
Yeah.
But obviously physically, we're looking for guys that, once we get the pads on, I got to have guys who want to have contact. I got to have guys who want to fill gaps, guys who move. But at the same time, it's those little things, stretching, moving, getting your hips open and loose. Those things are really important for a linebacker, especially when we're playing sideline, especially in our defense with two of them moving around. I think that's important. But it's having linebackers to do a bit of everything, I think, is the most important.
Absolutely. Now, that leads into the other question of what you're looking for during the season. It kind of seems to me like you're not necessarily looking for guys who are just big, strong. You're looking for athletes, guys who can fly around the field. Mm-hmm. I'm assuming that means that you're going to want some depth so you can have some rotation as well, right?
Absolutely. Obviously you want those starters to be able to go in and do a lot of what you ask, but it's very important to have guys behind them that you trust, that when you need them to come in, whether it's for certain packages, situations, or just to give a guy, a spell for a player or two, they have to come in. You got to trust that they're going to come in, play at a high level, and know what they're doing. And it's not just, it's not just those starter guys. It's the 2 or 3 guys behind them who are going to play significant time. It's important for them to know what's going on too.
Oh, 100%, Coach. All right, so I got some fun rapid fire questions for you as well.
Yep.
Any specific pregame meal?
Night before, pasta.
Okay.
Any type of pasta, particularly like, penne, spaghetti sauce, something high carb, something filling.
You're speaking to me.
Day before, during the game, before it, a couple hours before, honestly, big fan of like a Jimmy John sub, something like that. Just any type of cold cut sub, something to get some carbs in, something to get a little bit, a little fuel in you, a little bit of protein. That's kind of my go-to.
Go-to pregame song on the ride over, gets you ready to go.
Oh, that's a tough one. I am a man of many genres.
Okay.
But we're talking for a football game, it's got to be something metal, something rock. For me personally, I mean, it's hard to not go with some Breaking Benjamin, something Chevelle, something like that. So.
Yes, I like it. Better to win at home or silence that crowd on the road?
This one might be a little uncommon, but on the road. 100%. I love playing in front of the home crowd. It's great to give them a win. But going to somebody else's field and winning in front of more people who are there for them than there are you, that's a little bit of a fun spite to have.
Always good to hush them up.
Yes,
I agree.
100%.
Do you have any day of game superstitions?
Not really. I am not a superstitious guy. Like, some guys are like, got to wear the same socks, got to do this, I got to do a certain movement to my warm-up routine. I've seen a lot of stuff, but nah, I don't think so. I'm not a superstitious person. I say it's every week's a different week, and I kind of I guess, if anything, I don't like my routine to be the same.
There you go. Okay,
so I guess that might be a little
something
superstitious.
Different. Whatever's rolling with that day. I like
Absolutely.
That. And my last one for you: when did you fall in love with the game of football?
Oh man, I mean, as far back as I can remember, when I was little, I started watching football with grandparents, my mom and dad, and it just, man, the game just clicked. It is the greatest team sport you can play, and I mean, immediately I knew, I was like, I got to play this, and I think very quickly in the playing, I knew that it was not just playing the game that I love, but it was getting to coach it.
Yeah.
Coaching it, there is a different vibe to them. They're similar, but there's something special about coaching football and being around it at that level that is awesome. So, I mean, as long as I can remember, football's been Life.
That is a great answer, Coach. Well, I appreciate you for joining us on the show. We're going to be going back and forth with coaches as we get into practices, and as I've talked about with all the coaches, we're going to definitely sit down week of so we can get a game plan established so you know what's going on in the booth. Stay tuned for more interviews here on the Strawbro Sports Show.